Hi. 30 years ago, I came down to Leicester from Gateshead for a weekend, and I stayed. Being born next to the River Tyne, waterways have always fascinated me. In 1989, I suffered a minor stroke, and the medical advice was for me to lose a bit of weight and to take more exercise. As you can see, I've been very successful with the first. So what better way than combining my love of the canals with keeping fit? My name's Scott Gibson, and I'm inviting you to join me walking the waterways of Leicestershire. Hello, this week we're going post to post. This is a post, and about 6 miles further up the river is another post, and by the time we reach it, I'm going to be totally knackered. This walk takes us through the entire city of Leicester, and hopefully on the way we'll find a lot of interesting things to see. So let's go. Before the Industrial Revolution, canals were a vital form of transport, but they became redundant with the advent of the road and rail links. In the 30s and 40s, the canals reverted back to nature. They became silted up and a bit messy. Nowadays, they're principally used for water sports, canoeing, fishing, and even walking. Well, we've been walking about a quarter of a mile now, and the building, the Scandinavian-looking building in front of us, is actually the Leicester Outdoor Pursuit Centre. And in the summer, it's absolutely chock-a-block with kids, and they're canoeing, they're fishing, they're boating, they're camping. There used to even be a ski run, and I don't know if they've still got that now, but it's a very, very popular place. Morning, mate, and you look. Keep trying. Next stop, Belgrave Hall, the home of my wife's ancestors. Across the canal, through the trees, you can see Belgrave Hall. It was built in 1713 by Edmund Craddock and was once owned by the Morley family. It's now a very popular museum and an important historical building in the city of Leicester. Now this is interesting. I bet you're wondering what the gun is across the river. In actual fact, it's the headquarters of the Leicester Sea Scouts, TS Tiger. They come down here to mess about on the river, play with boats and do their training. The centre's actually on the site of a Belgrave's water mill, and it appears in the Doomsday Survey at a value of 12 shillings as an important corn mill. It was eventually purchased in 1872 by the Leicester Town Council. Well, we're coming up to Swan's Nest Lock. This is the first lock on our walk today, and I'll show you why it's called Swan's Nest Lock in a minute. We're at the meeting point of the River Soar and the Grand Union Canal. Actually, I've made a mistake because this is actually Belgrave Lock, and over there you'll see Swan's Nest Weir. If you look over to the right, you'll see where the river goes up to Abbey Park, and to the left, this is the Grand Union Canal. And we'll be following the canal bank right up to Abbey Park Road, which is about another 600 yards. The pumping station across the river was built in 1891, and it contains a giant steam-operated beam engine, which is still in working order. It's now the Museum of Technology run by Leicester Museums, and it is really well worth a visit. Oh, and by the way, it's called Swan's Nest because there's a swan's nest over there. You'll see it if you come back in the springtime. Oh, and just another bit of useless information. They're going to waste your millions of Millennium money on a space center just over there. Although this is the middle of January and obviously the canal's not at its best, it still affords a beautiful walk. In the summer, the trees covered with leaves, loads of squirrels, birds, really superb place to be. This is Limekiln Lock, and it's a very, very important historical place in the city of Leicester. This is where the waterworks really worked. The lock is so named because of the many lime kilns and brickworks that were in the area. Once the Waterways centre of the town, the area contained warehouses for corn, salt, lime, timber and building materials, 2 iron foundries, over 10 coal merchants, boatmen's cottages, 2 inns and boat wharves for James Sutton boats, and later Fellers, Morton and Claydon, including the once famous Memory Lane Wharf. Repair, maintenance and painting facilities also operated here. As the prosperity of the canals went into decline, so this inland port area gave ground to local street and factory development. The plaque on the wall indicates the mileages between Leicester and various cities. As you can see, Lincoln at 90 miles, it's much quicker to go down the A46. This is Abbey Park on my right, and this is where all the kids used to nick in when Abbey Park show was going. And back in Victorian times, all the knobs, they used to go walking and all the finery up in the park. And the likes of me went out. We used to have to walk down by the canal. And by God, it used to stink a lot more than it does now.